In the previous modules, we discussed how malicious actors can get into your account, how they can get into your systems. Well, what do they do once they get there? Now let's talk about business email compromise and really bring some of those attacks to the table, and let's look at what bad guys will do, how they'll utilize your email against you. An example of this could be a company CEO who wants to give some incentives to employees. That CEO, who's really hiding, it's actually a malicious actor, could send an email to an assistant saying, hey, I want to give some incentives, please purchase some gift cards. And instead of handing those gift cards physically to the employees, because maybe they work remotely now, send me those gift card numbers so I can send them electronically to those employees. But really, that CEO is a malicious actor, and they're going to take those gift card numbers and use them. Another example of this could be a home buyer who receives an email from their title company requesting a wire transfer for a down payment on a home. Looking at a timeline of how business email compromise happens, the first step is going to be that malicious actor identifies a target. Then they're going to spend some time communicating back and forth, building trust, and getting that target to lower their guard. Then they're going to exchange some information. So in the case of the title company, they're going to say, hey, please send a wire to this new address, this new wire account. And then the last step would then be, exfiltrating that data or sending that wire. Not far from business email compromise is corporate account takeover. In this case, a malicious third party will physically take over an account of the victim. Now, this account could be some type of online account. That account could have data in it, or it could be your bank account. The common method of this is going to be phishing. Again, social engineering still represents 93% of all breaches. We've also seen attackers use brute force attacks, and this is where attackers will utilize long password lists and perhaps try millions of different passwords to log into an account. In looking at the corporate account takeover lifecycle, that's going to begin with stealing credentials or perhaps using stolen credentials that they bought on the dark web. Attackers can get stolen credentials anywhere. Gmail, Hotmail, they've all had their password files stolen. So an attacker can go out and purchase that password file. Once they've stolen credentials or bought stolen credentials, they're going to try those out. They can have their computer, they can automate this process, or they can try it manually. Once the malicious actor gains access into that account, that's when they're going to attempt to exfiltrate the data or steal money out of that account. How do we protect against business email compromise or corporate account takeover? The number one way is still through employee education, training our employees on social engineering, specifically on phishing, so we can stop those attacks before they happen. We also want to monitor our internet domain to ensure that the password list hasn't been stolen. Also, we want to protect our online environment. So that's using multi-factor authentication, using virtual private networks, patch management, making sure our applications on our computer are up to date and that any known vulnerabilities are mitigated. And lastly, we want to ensure that we're monitoring our network on a 365, 24/7 basis. We want to ensure that any abnormal behavior on our machines, on our network, is caught before the bad guy is allowed to move around the network and steal credentials. Business email compromise and corporate account takeover are still the leading cause for money leaving your account. Financially, this is the most damaging type of attack that you can experience. Fortunately, you are also the number one thing that can stop this. Employee education and training is the number one thing that can mitigate how it happens and how to stop it.